I've sent him a message to currently no reply. Probably going for his post-game smoke though is my guess.
Shall we bring Bruno in now, and if Fumo wants to join us later, then Bruno can be here as well to
Absolutely
provide the statistical analysis of Fumo's play.
Exactly. We won't blame him based on subjective stuff. It'll be purely facts.
Yes, Statsman Bruno just woke up. Not sure if he got to watch any of the games, but we're gonna get him on the line now and see what he thinks about today's action.
Hello.
Hey Bruno, how are you? If you want to share, if you have a webcam and you're up to it, I could throw you on the overlay here. But otherwise, I have a picture of you from the international.
I actually have my camera unplugged, so I'll have to wait for next day.
So you're speaking in the nude, is what you're trying to tell the viewers out there.
Yeah. Just picture that in your mind.
You and gods, ice, oy vey, or whatever the expression
You're the minority now.
Yeah. Oh well, you have to have the special Skype to have the group webcam, anyways. Unfortunately.
Do you?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Special Skype.
You have to pay. It's like a Skype not subscription, but like a premium Skype to have group webcam calls.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
So Bruno, how shocked are you? LGD just barely able to defeat SQL. By the skin of their teeth, they win that series.
At least game 1, game 2, I don't know. I just caught the end of game 1 and most of game 2. I was excited actually, not as all GD, but for all CQL Fumoffu's team. The thing about them is that they were clearly playing for the Fantasy League, you know, because you see that game 2, they were something like 22-14 in kills. So they quickly call GG. And what they do is start killing guys because LGD says, okay, we won, it's okay. We start disconnecting, we start not caring. And they ended up something like 22-19, so they got 5 free kills just by calling GG because they had already lost.
Is it,
now,
on a related note,
what?
On a related note, is it fair to speculate that Tongfu may have had some N9 players on their team, specifically godz, because they were just feeding him an outrageous number of kills as his Crystal Maiden in game 1? Is there some sort of a fix in the works in the Dota Academy Fantasy League?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure of that, but I would do that if I were in their position. You know, I'm godz, and I say, okay, there's a point where you know as a player that a match is lost. Maybe it's not lost, you give up as a player. So he says, okay, this match is lost. Let's make the most out of it, right? So he starts doing that. Or maybe he just agreed with some friends or something. It's something that we should ask him. He probably knows about that, but it's quite an interesting theory, I have to admit.
Alright, I'm just saying, I suspect that something foul is awry. I just can't put my finger on it yet. But I'm on to you, Bruno. I'm on to your tricks. I know you're getting paid off. I just haven't figured out who's paying you off yet.
Well, that guy who's number 1, math is mine, I'm pretty sure is potentially Bruno, or at least in cahoots with Bruno. But who are like the top scoring players, do you think, today? I mean, is kPhoenix the only one from SQL who's actually going to get positive points, I feel? Is that an accurate assessment?
Yes, I feel so.
Is it
they
that?
didn't do it well.
Is it that harsh?
I don't know. I mean, for the second game was not that bad, but I think for the first game it was quite more complicated for them. Actually, I do have the points here. If you just give me 1 second. If I go to the match list, which all of you can do, we can see that I don't have CQL versus Tongfu, but I do have N9 versus... Sorry, I do have N9 versus Tongfu. I don't know if you saw that before. But for example, in the first match, which N9 won, I think?
N9 lost.
N9 lost that first match, right?
Yeah.
godz got many points there. The other guy
was
that
CM.
got lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the CM.
How many points did he get exactly?
10 points. Even
what?
losing.
How is he 11-3-17 as a 4-position Crystal Maiden and he only gets 10 points?
11-5-17, by the way.
Or 5.
Here's the thing.
Still.
11 kills gets you 5 points because that's really good. 17 gets you 3 points because 17 assists because Crystal Maiden normally gets lots of assists. So you have to have, I think, over 20 to get 5.
But But that's like 10 kills more than a Crystal Maiden normally gets.
No. Kills, yeah. It's
But
10
only
level-
5 points? I mean, there were
That's-
players getting like 30, 40 points a game at the International.
No, wait. You can only get at most 5 points for every category. So technically, the max you can get is 22 points.
Ah.
Oh, it's the maximum for kills.
So
the second max
it's
for
okay.
assists. 1 point for death because 5 deaths is good for Crystal Maiden, but it's not great. So 5 deaths, 1 point, and 237 for GPM, which is just okay. Again, 1 point. No points for winning the match. So 10 points is actually quite okay. If you look at that N9 team, they all finish positive. If you look at, for example, I don't know, MEFC team against IG yesterday, they all finished with a negative score. But there you have it. I mean, you can lose this game and still get points. If you have
Long
picked-
DD got me 0. He got me 0 points, a flat 0.
Yeah, that's what
disappointing.
I was going to say. If you pick Long DD, who won, you would not get on any scores in both of these games. And godz, for example, got 7 points the game he won and 10 points the game he lost.
I'm glad I had Sylar today. I will say that much, and he was my captain as well. So I think,
That's great.
yeah, that'll work out.
Yeah, you will get many points with that.
You know, it's weird right now because you can change your roster because in theory it makes sense to just create a whole new team only using players from the teams that play, but you can only have 2 players for each position and 2 from each team. And do you even want to take players from a team like SQL when they're playing against
I only took
LGD?
1. Yeah, I had 7 players today. I was like, okay, SQL will play. I think kPhoenix is the only one getting positive points, so I have 7 players on my team currently. I don't feel like the fantasy league's properly started because of the way you can just swap players every day, but it's kind of like it's such early days that later on it's going to get important who you have. And tomorrow, IG versus LGD, it's going to be very important who you have.
Yep. And, well, the thing is that I don't think that will be too crucial because you'd expect that in even matches, not many players will get lots of points. You expect even matches. I think the most crucial games are when you have a very uneven match because you go for the carry for the winning team, the best team. You go for the 2 players, and you're sure to get lots of points. So, but surprisingly, for example, I don't know. I don't think other than Sylar, any other LGD players will get too many points. So, and as I told you in my Twitter, the Fantasy League Twitter, this selling at 100% ends today.
Today? I'm
so
fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we have
it's
tomorrow's matches, and we all with the only reason we did this is so because we didn't know the lineups for some teams, so we didn't want people to buy like some. Let's say, for example, that I don't know, kPhoenix would not play for some reason because he switched teams or whatever, and we didn't want people buying kPhoenix and then realizing that okay, they wasted their money in a player that they wouldn't be able to use. So in order to respect that, we keep the 100% just in case. And after tomorrow, which is when every team would have played already, we will know the definite lineups, and we will be able to say, okay, these are the players. We don't play with this anymore, and now, after all, we just start selling at 80%. So you won't be able to do that shenanigans where you sell all your team, buy a new team every day, because it will work for a few days, but you'll run out of money.
Yeah.
So today's the last day you sell for full price. So I can sell for full price, get my serious team, and then not sell again.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So you shouldn't be speculating to getting players just for tomorrow, because after tomorrow you'll start losing money if you do that.
Okay. And there's still 2-3 weeks of matches. So, all right, I get that. I'm gonna have to put my thinking cap on tonight rather than just pick players playing tomorrow.
Yep, that's good.
Now, let me just say, Bruno, I'd like to lodge a complaint because Shao8 is actually a 5-position player now. He's the hard support, so that team needs to be flipped around with DD.
I'm surprised actually.
I don't like this change. I gotta say, I think Shao8 is just too good at that 3 position, but they're not doing poorly. That's like taking Michael Jordan and telling him to play anything except for just the shooting guard. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him in the international. He's a really, really solid player. I'm surprised. Actually, I didn't know he was playing at 5. You just told me that, and I didn't know. But
And N9 also caught you by
yeah,
surprise with
M9,
their change
about
of
M9.
roles.
I had that message from godz yesterday. He says, you know, you have M9's positions all wrong. And
Literally.
I don't think a single one was correct.
godz was number 4
Oh
because
yeah.
I was the jungler. So yeah, he has to be number
Well, and
4.
he played CM, which was like kind of number 5 with Jakiri
Yeah,
number 4
that's
even.
it.
So
godz. I swear. I mean, after I knew these guys at the international, I know they're doing this to troll me.
It's always
Like,
it's always to troll you. It's just whether or not you know it.
yeah, of course, the world twists around me. I'm the center of the world, so they have to be doing that because of me. No, but seriously, what we did with N9 was just we just swapped the positions, and that would mean that a few players will have, let's say, 3 players in the number 2 position or number 3 position or whatever.
Right.
What we do is like, okay, now we were still selling at 100% and everything. If you want to stay with 3 players in the same position, you will be able to because it was our fault. But if you want to sell one to buy a new one, you have to actually now you will have to comply with the rules. So if you have 3 players at the number 1 and you want a new player at the number 1, you have to say 2 of them. And when you sell 2 of them, you'll be able to get your second one, not your third one.
yeah, I've got 3
we're
number 1s at the moment. I've got 3 position 1s with Shaitan, Hao, and Sylar.
Huh.
You have How? Really? Oh, just for today. Okay.
He was my big carry for today.
I mean, I like How, but he is not earning that 1.2 million price tag for me.
Oh no, not by any means.
Well, he had some money to spare today, so
He does look good while doing it with those ridiculous pink glasses he always wears, but
Get him for the style.
yeah, style
Yeah.
point. Like he earns the style points. But Bruno, can we have a style points category? By the way, can that be a thing?
who would be the judge of that?
Me, and then I always win.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you 1,000,000 points to your fake fantasy player. Not your fantasy team, though. But your fantasy player called ld gets 1,000,000 points for style.
Awesome. All right, now I'm on board. Now I'm gonna take this league really seriously.
Great. Speaking of style points, something I was talking with godz yesterday, and it's fair to mention, I'll probably tweet it later and explain it in the webpage. But the idea is after half the tournament, we will start giving points to the underdogs. So if an underdog pulls win, the players in the team get extra points. How do we know who the underdog is? By a scoring position, like ranking in the group stage. So if you're playing a team that has more points than you, you'll be the underdog. And if you win, you'll get extra points. How many extra points? We're still determining. We don't want to break it too much by giving too many points. But we're checking it right now. So in the future, you will not only have to be careful of picking the player that gives you more points, but also it might be good to gamble in those cheaper players from lesser known teams that might get a win in order to get the big points as well.
So basically, would like let's say you pick a Sylar or a Ferrari or something, and of course they're gonna perform almost every game. Is it worth more to get the spoiler and get your 1 spoiler win than it is to have like 2 or 3 wins as with this one? Like how much weight are you giving to that change?
I don't have the number right now because I don't want it to be that big. I just want it to make it worth your while. I feel that at this point there are some players that I would never buy. Nothing personal.
Let's get one name off of that Bruno list, the never buy list.
You're an evil guy. I'm not going to commit to that statement, you know.
Oh, Bruno, manning down here in the moment of truth.
No, I mean it's respect for the players. Then they come after me.
I think this means I get to take your yellow blazer away.
You know, actually, there was this one player. I can say who this guy was, but let's tell the story first and the player later. So there was this one player at the international too. He was like, "Who is Bruno? Who is Bruno? I don't know who is Bruno. Where is Bruno? I know Bruno is here." And some guy, so what happens? I'm really cheap at the fantasy league. I'm really angry at this because I can't be that cheap. I'm a good player. Of course, he said it jokingly, but when I talked to him, he was like, "Really, man?" He was hurt at the fact that he was so cheap. He was ex-Mike, by the way. We talked about it, and I tell, yeah, well, I mean, you're the 5 position player. You normally die quite a lot, and no offense, man, you're a really great player, and I can't play against you ever in my life. You'll win 99 out of 100 times, but Fantasy League is like that. Unfortunately, the league gave me the reason, and he didn't actually score too many points during the tournament, but he did score more points than Bambo.
What
How
was
much did Bambo
Bambo's?
cost?
Yeah, what was his final score as well? I don't know, but I heard it was bad. I heard that much.
Bambo, not only he costed $300,000,
That's affordable.
and
That's cheap.
yeah, that's cheap. But he gave you negative points in average.
How many other players gave negative points besides him?
None other.
So he's completely unique, is what you're trying to tell us.
Yeah, he's completely unique, and I love the fact that he's a great guy. And he was joking about it every single day. He was like, "Hey, what's up? How are people feeling that for the fact that I'm actually ruining their team?"
James was not amused. I remember the analyst panel. Every time we're off camera, he's like, "This fucking Bambo, like, what's he doing? He's ruining my fantasy team." But he's like, "I still love him, but he's ruining my fucking fantasy team." Don't quote me for that, but that's more or less what he said.
Well, now, I mean, maybe we see why. Maybe he was angling all along to kind of pick up mouse sports, or at least, help them out a little bit and be involved as a sponsor, or a semi-sponsor. I mean, whatever that relationship is, that's like one of those things where, like, you've been seeing a girl, but you don't know if you're a couple or if you're just dating or what your status is. Like, at least publicly, that's the case for GD. But maybe not. Maybe we know why now. It was, how can I recruit this guy when he's just throwing and feeding, and he's literally the worst player in the entire fantasy league?
Or maybe that was his plan. Like, okay, guys, I'm going to support your team. I'm going to take you to Kiev. I don't mind if you win the finals. What I do mind is that you have to have positive points in the fantasy league,
Bruno, maybe that's the fix. Maybe 2GD paid off mouse sports to throw so that he could pick them up cheaply on the market. Although I guess those kind of cancel each other out, so maybe I just need to sleep more. Either way. Pay the money so that you can pay less to acquire them.
Yeah, coffee is good, but to a certain extent. After a certain while, sleeping is better.
Yeah, sleep might be in order for me. But I gotta update my roster before I go to bed.
Yep.
Oh, can you unlock those, Bruno? Unlock the rosters?
No, not yet actually, because I have to take into account Veronica Chan.
Oh my! I had a fantastic day. I shot up from like 400 to 32. Wow.
Well,
nice.
I haven't. Has the second set of matches been added yet?
It looks like they just got added.
Yeah, they've just been loaded.
Let's see how I'm looking. Position 20. Oh yeah.
Ooh, I think I'm 22. That first day really screwed me.
Yeah, I had an okay. Long DD let me down, but apart from that, everyone else was positive.
I want to point out that Cyborg Matt is in the gutter right now with 85 points. Godz at 151, me at 138. Cyborg Matt, step your game up because you're slacking.
Yeah, come on, Cyborg Matt. Well, but really, I have to before I can actually add the open the league, I have to add Veronica's point, which weren't added. But it will take me about 10 minutes after we finish this call. So after that, I'm going to tweet. Remember to follow DA Fantasy League, like Dota Academy Fantasy League. It's too long to write all together. So go to Twitter, follow DA Fantasy League. And I'm tweeting pretty much every hour, talking about the status of the league. If there's something to fix, if you need something to report, you go there. It's probably the way I can keep you updated about things. So after I update Chan, I will unlock the Fantasy League and you can keep playing. Remember that right now you have to make the good team, and that's not a pun on the good team. You have to make the real good team because you won't be able to sell at 100% after tomorrow.
And that really adds up quickly. I mean, you can make like a change or two, but it really limits your options. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's our daily Bruno fantasy update. At least
That's
for
the
now.
fantasy update. We have got an interview coming up. kPhoenix as well as Fumoffu have said they'll come on for
A joint interview. This
I don't know if this is an interview or a flame fest. I don't know
Flame War?
what we're in for here.
It's gonna be 3-on-1. I don't think anyone's gonna take Fumoffu's side.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either, but we can get their thoughts, like versing ldD. It's pretty scary, but I don't know. It's a big experience for them. I gotta do my fantasy team as well.
All right, let's get them on. Let's get them on. Now you got me excited, Bruno.
You may have
do you want to grill them? Oh, are you gonna be a neutral bystander for this one?
I don't know the guy. Let me talk to him for a little bit. I'll measure how
drop,
much I like him, and I might side with him or with you guys.
Drop some statistics here and there,
okay.
just to like sort of add fuel to the fire.
I like the idea actually.
Hey,
so,
Fumoffu,
yeah.
did you know that you earned 0 points today?
Was he? Did he end up on 0?
I'm
no.
kidding. I don't actually know.
I want to know. We need to pull out these stats before we. I've added them. I think you might have to call them LD if you started the call. I'm not sure. I added them to the group, but how's? Oh, here we go.
Well, Fumoffu's on the call.
Score. Oh, this is Fumoffu at -3 is the worst for SQL.
Bambo level.
Vodki's at -2.5. T-Duck's at -2. And the rest, Cux is positive. Cux got 1.5 points. I had him on my team and thought he might go negative, so I sold him, but...
1.5, that's better than nothing. Fumoffu in the call, but not picking up, dodging a little bit, even now. Whether it's on the fields of Dota or outside, you know, always dodging. That's our Fumoffu. I mean, I'm partially just flaming him to try and inspire him to come on the show and defend himself at this point.
Exactly. I feel like he needs to just like explain
Here he
everything
is.
that's gone down.
Hello, Fumoffu. How you feeling, buddy?
No Fumoffu yet. Is he? Is he here?
He's picked up the call, but he's just spying on us. Just a little eavesdropping.
Hello.
That's
There you are.
kPhoenix.
Oh, that's kPhoenix. Okay.
He's up now, he's not.
Stop.
How heavy is Fumoffu, kPhoenix?
Holy shit, it was kPhoenix,
really
he was feeding. Oh my back hurts. Holy shit.
How is the team morale holding up after yet another Fumoffu feed performance?
I didn't feed. Did I?
Fumoffu, have you ever fed
Too bad.
in your life?
No, of course not.
Do you know what
I always
feed?
carry the
Can
feed.
you define feed for us? Do you know what it means?
It's basically like Phoenix. He's the definition of feed. Phoenix thinker.
Phoenix? What is a Phoenix?
Phoenix.
Phoenix is that flea.
He calls everyone
This
fleas.
guy.
Flea?
Everyone who isn't Fumoffu is a flea.
Does that mean like they're just a bug beneath your boot to be crushed and insignificant in some way? Is that the idea, or are you just like fleas? I'm trying to wrap my brain around this one, and I'm a little sleep deprived to say the least. But we'll roll with it, I suppose. So how did it feel going up against a team like ldD? Now you played EG, but they were playing with a lot of delay. And have you guys been scrimming against ldD or these top Chinese teams, or is it more to sort of your first exposure to playing them?
No, actually, it was our first time visiting ldD. But we scrim a lot of top teams like Orange, some other else.
Have you played many of the Chinese teams, or more just the other Southeast Asian teams?
Chinese.
Have you
I
played
don't
against
really
anyone?
Fumoffu, have you ever played Dota 2 before today?
Well, we've always been practicing against N9. That's about it. We don't really practice much. This team.
How do you think do you think you guys can like come out of your group in 3rd or 4th position into the playoffs?
Of course.
Second
What?
position, 1st position. What's the expectation?
First?
First, of course.
Yeah, first.
Without Phoenix, of course. If we had another player than Phoenix, yeah, first would be so easy. I think.
Well, your next match, you're welcome to replace him and see how you do.
You know, we had a theory, Fumoffu, and I'm just gonna run it by you that perhaps what your team really needs is for kPhoenix to start controlling your hero, and you can just sort of relax and you can focus on talking crap to the enemy team in all chat over the course of the game. What do you think about this new arrangement? Do you think it could really take your game to the next level?
Yeah,
actually, I was the one who was controlling the Tinker, the kPhoenix Tinker. He just shared
I thought
control.
you said it was feeding. Get your story straight for Mofu. First it's feeding, now you are controlling it, so you're to blame for kPhoenix's Tinker feeding.
Because yeah, it was hard microing your heroes, that's why.
So, on the Fantasy League for Mofu, you're currently sitting at -3 points, where kPhoenix is on a formidable +6, and Cux is on a 1.5. So
wait, let's put this in context as well
not as bad as Sharky. Sharky is the worst. First, Sharky loses his passport. Now he's gone bottom of the Fantasy League. Like, how much? Like, you've hit rock bottom.
All right,
I mean, passport's one thing, but Fantasy League, you're out.
Listen, the Melk Award equivalent for the Fantasy League is going negative for the entire event. Only one other person has ever done that, and this is the second fantasy event. That was Sexy Bambo at the International, so you have a shot at joining the esteemed ranks of a very select group, I must say. Some good company there with Sexy Bambo.
And it's not easy. It's quite a challenge as well. I mean, you have to be very consistent at not performing well. Sometimes you stumble over kills, like godz today. Sometimes you don't even want to kill, but you kill, and you end up having a good performance. To get this award, you have to be consistently underperforming, and that's a challenge for every Dota player.
Anyways, do you know who your next match is against?
I think EG. Versing EG again. I look forward to a rematch. Yeah, actually, I get my revenge.
I feel like
how are relations?
Some good old chat.
How are relations between your teams after that first game where you came into the stream chat, and I don't think I've ever seen more trash talk from you in like a minute on the stream than most players deliver in like a month of playing the game competitively. So, is there a bit of a grudge between you guys? What's the feelings out there?
No, I don't think they hate me.
Are you sure? I mean, I had an EG player saying SQL are a tier 6 team.
Well,
I don't know who, but I think one of them said that.
Well, have you guys seen EG versus Quantic? They actually shouted us.
Yeah, they stole your strategy. They did.
Yeah, they stole my strategy.
Was that a strategy all along? Like from the draft, you're like, this is how we're going to win this game?
Yeah, of course it was planned. I planned it all the way.
I gotta say that was a thing of beauty though. That smoke yank on the throat. It was a rare moment of brilliance. So I'm guessing it came from kPhoenix and not from you.
No,
Yeah,
no.
of course.
He was like, oh, we're gonna lose. You just quit, just rage quit this. Not win. And I was like,
How are you
like,
guys in game? Is kPhoenix? Are you a kind of guy who gets a little like I know for me, I bitch a lot whenever I'm dying or my team's struggling. Even if I think we can win. Very emotional.
Yeah, he is. He actually rage.
Fumoffu just yells at people.
Gotta be emotional. Too heavy.
No, you're too heavy. My back hurts.
Yeah.
Back hurts.
I'd be emotional too with players like you on my team. Fleas like you, I might say. Oh, man. All right, so predictions on how you guys are going to do the rest of the way. Are you going to go a clean or a sweep? Confident you can take down IG and the rest of the teams in your group?
I think it's going to be hard versus IG.
All right, so let's say maybe that's a loss, but the other 3 games, or that at worst, at best, a toss-up. The other 3 games, EG, you think you can beat EG?
Of course.
What's your prediction? I actually don't remember.
2-0?
MUFC as well. MUFC, can you beat MUFC?
2-0.
I like the confidence.
He's like, yeah, I think.
What if they ban Tinker? Do you still think you'll win 2-0?
We're just gonna use a sub. We can't use the kPhoenix. You can only play Tinker. So we need to
I
sub.
see.
Now I want to bring some stats here because that's kind of what I do, right?
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
his trick.
I'm taking a look at your averages, and while it's true, Fumoffu is right when he says that Tinker is 0-3 when kPhoenix playing, but
I don't think that's entirely fair to kPhoenix here, but all right, let's.
and here's the point: he averages 9 kills and 4 deaths, so he's not only positive, he's really, really good for being a Tinker that loses. So I don't think it's fair to put the blame on him, because it seems like he's doing a great job, and something else might not be working. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe he just kills supports.
I was microing his Tinker. That's why. That's why everyone thinks he's doing good.
That's why you were feeding your 6-slotted anti-mage twice in a row.
Yeah, because I had to control the Tinker to back me up. Like I used his TP and Hex and stuff. It was hard.
Oh man.
Oh my.
I don't know how you guys focus in your matches with this kind of nonsense going.
We don't.
For anyone who's never played with Fumoffu, I guess you call it the pleasure to stand in for his team in like a very minor event in the early rounds, and he just screams at everyone constantly, just non-stop. I couldn't understand a word you were saying, honestly, but it didn't matter. I think it was for the best that you didn't make any sense.
That's the spirit.
So, any more stats for us, Bruno, or is that pretty much that's gonna cover?
No,
it?
actually, well, I mean, I could keep talking about kPhoenix Tinkers all day because he's an anomaly, you know, in a good way, actually. You know how there's a stat that we track is called participation, which means how many of the kills, what percentage of the kills of your team you participate in.
Yeah.
And I mean, for example, something that's a hero that's not really mobile, like Crystal Maiden, normally gets about 50-55% of the. I mean, is involved either assisting or killing in 50-55% of the kills in that game. A hero like Nature's Prophet, Spectre, that is not played anymore. I mean, they have global skills, so they get really high participation, mostly in the 70s. 75 is something good. Now, kPhoenix Tinker is at 93%.
Wow.
So he's everywhere. If you don't have kPhoenix in your team fights, you lose.
Is he everywhere, or is the rest of SQL nowhere?
That's a question for the game.
It was me. I was actually micro. I told you before. I was microing the Tinker, so yeah, I was the one TPing to the fight.
All right. So while you're microing the Tinker, what is kPhoenix doing in these games?
It's probably on Facebook or something. He plays World of Warcraft now. Just probably raiding on World of Warcraft. That's why.
Are you, kPhoenix? Be honest. Are you raiding on World of Warcraft right now?
No.
That was such a lie. That was such a lie.
I'm serious. Actually, I asked any one of us. He's always raiding in World of Warcraft.
Is that where you get your Tinker? I hear you clicking furiously.
He's farming WoW gold while playing Tinker.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Jeez. You guys are always. It's getting to the point where casting your games requires like a shower before and after, just for all the nonsense that goes on. Good and bad. I mean, whether you're winning or losing. So, ay.
Oh well.
All right, so you're feeling good. You guys are predicting that you're going to go 3-2 the rest of the way, or 3-1 the rest of the way for a total record of 3-2, and dropping that series, I guess, to IG. So that's a bold prediction. I mean, not predicting that you're going to beat IG, I guess a little bit less than the maximum bold, but I would love to see you guys go far. You're a very exciting team to watch, and you know, after you play EG, hopefully you'll be able to come back on here and talk some smack. I'd love to have you again on for an interview, guys. But this has been interesting.
Otherwise we get Demon on to talk some smack.
Yeah, that's the trade-off, and then you have to listen to it too, because I know you'll be tuning in. You're always listening to the stream when you're not playing.
Why don't we have a interview with Fumoffu and Demon at the same time?
Pre-game Fumoffu Demon trash talk off.
We should that is actually that's amazing. We got to do that now. We just got to convince Demon, because you know Fumo's always on board. So
Maybe what you could do is, if the series ends up 1-1, you go like, okay, trash talk tiebreaker, and you put them on here and let the people watching the stream decide who wins this kind of presidential debate between Fumoffu and Demon, and then you assign the full points to the team that does better, the player that does better.
that's the other thing he's doing when he's not busy controlling kPhoenix's Tinker. He's running for president. So there you go. He's busy.
I'd vote for him because I know that kPhoenix would actually be running the country. So I'm just microing him, you know. He's my vice president, but I'm microing him.
But you know, they need to start selling fan tickets for just Fumoffu, not even for the team. Like, you should be able to buy pennants to support a player, and I think Fumo has got to be at the top of that list.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for coming on. It was great having you for an interview, and hopefully we'll get to do this again in the future. On a serious note, good luck the rest of the way. You guys are a lot of fun to cast, whether you're winning or losing, and it's great to have a Western team. Well, not in the Western Hemisphere per se, but some, you know, non-Chinese players, not, you know, sort of from Australia, from that Oceania region, representing. And we wish you the best of luck the rest of the way in the tournament. Thanks for coming on, and good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.
See you later, guys.
Don't play World of Warcraft. It'll rot your brain.
Helps me play Dota.
Yeah. That's what I taught myself too. See ya, KP.
See ya.
Oh, well, that was fun.
Yep.
Indeed, and we've got even more fun tomorrow. I mean, I feel IG versus LGD is what, I mean, everyone kind of wants to see. EG up against some of these big Chinese names, sure, but I feel it's just going to be a lot of people upset about various issues that come into play outside of the game itself. But it's going to be a really exciting matchup. This Orange and DK was one of the great matchups which happened on day one, and here we are, day 3 with IG LGD. It's going to be at an awkward time for a lot of the European and American scene, but I feel this is going to be a lot of people going to be getting up for it.
Well, this may be, you know, maybe we can even start using that restreaming, rebroadcasting feature if it's still available. I mean, and that's something where, you know, if you guys are interested in that, let us know, because we've done it for the World Tour in the past, had a decent turnout. But if it's something people really want, especially for, you know, at least big sort of premiere matches like that, for me, I like watching the live streams better than VOD. Something about it, even if it's a recording. It's just nice to turn it on. So that's something we can bring to you guys if you're interested. But yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a big match, and that'll all kick off at 3:30, a little bit before 3:30 p.m. SGT. So, what are we looking at for that? About 17 hours from now or so.
Yep.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, Bruno, thanks for coming on again, and of course, Godz, great casting with you as well. And let's keep the good times rolling. And as for me, I'm gonna try and not be a zombie for tomorrow. I'm gonna try and sleep for more than 3 hours.
Yeah. Fair enough. And for those of you who miss games, you can check them out. We upload all the VODs. They are for free on YouTube. It's my channel as well as LD's, half and half. YouTube.com/ldDOTA, and mine's YouTube.com/godzstudios. So you can find all the VODs, all the action there. And if you're ever unsure of the schedule, the best thing to do is follow LD and myself. We'll announce whenever we go live, whenever we're streaming a match on Twitter.com/ggnetgodz, Twitter.com/ldDOTA. Be sure to follow the Fantasy League. Be sure, more importantly, to take part in the Fantasy League. As Bruno and Bruno, like we're David and David, you're Bruno and Bruno. Both Brunos have put a lot of work into the Fantasy League. That's a great point. As well as the Dota Academy site as a whole. There's so much cool information on the site. We need to have a showdown between the Brunos and the Davids.
2v2 solo me.
Yeah, let's do it.
We've got more Davids on our side.
Hell yeah, we'll bring in the backup with Triumph of Mana and Lumi. We're not gonna fight fair.
I have to find more Brunos, damn.
Aye. All right, guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We'll see you in 17 hours, or approximately 17 hours. 15:30 SGT tomorrow is when I mean, honestly, for me, the best match since the International 2.
Yeah.
Starladder had some exciting matches, but IG versus LGD in a Chinese tournament and the first Dota 2 event coming out from China from a Chinese organizer. You won't want to miss this, and I mean, this is really going to set the pace for that group. So tune in tomorrow, 17 hours from now. IG versus LGD. Followed up by DK versus Tongfu, an all-Chinese affair, but should be a fantastic slate of games. And for now, we're going to bid you good night, good day, good afternoon, whatever the hell time it is where you guys are. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in 17 hours.